So as with many things that you run into when you're building a custom bike, it seems like many small things become a problem at a certain point and kind of bring you to a screeching halt. When we go to put our rocker boxes on, we were going to use these kind of bolts, which are your standard Harley-Davidson bolts, and we've decided to replace those with a large Allen head bolt, so we have chrome bolts all around the top. When we went to see about putting those bolts in, all of a sudden there was a lot of interference with the frame and everywhere, trying to get a socket down into it, and you couldn't get it done. So what we decided to do is stop, take a minute, and let's make ourselves a little tool here, and that'll help us get through. So follow us along, and we'll show you how to make another one of our little extensions there just quickly to go along, and how it solves our problem with the black trike. So we've got our specialty piece kind of half made up here. Never really got back to it, but we cut a socket in half and welded the socket onto here, enough that we can put our wrench in. And the rest of it's just a flat piece of bar. We've got a hole in this end, and we've decided we need a certain size just to get our Allen key started in there. And we're going to put our Allen key in it, and then we're going to weld it into place. Doesn't have to be anything too exact. So now that we've got the hole in our piece, just taking an Allen wrench, a proper size that we found that we need for the bolts, and we've just ground it off, just enough so we can snap it off in the vise. So now we've got it broke off with just a ragged edge sticking up. So I'm just going to go over to the grinder there, touch that up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is put this through here where we want it. Probably stay there with that little bit of tit on it, like that. And I'm going to double check it to make sure I've got enough room to clear the center rocker box one there where it looks to be short. So I'm going to check that out, and then we'll decide. So we've checked our length now, and we can bring it in just a little bit there to straighten it up in here, but that should be just about right for what we need. So I'm going to tack weld the thing up here, and then we're going to go along and get those rocker boxes torqued down, and that'll be another thing out of the way. A little bit warm there, but we've got it touched up. Now I'm just going to smooth that off a little bit so there's no rough edges on the top. Now we'll get ready so we can go over and get our rocker boxes ready to go on, and use our new tool to torque them down with. So now that we've got our new tool ready to go, I'm going to put some Loctite on these bolts while we're talking. We've taken our calculations for our wrench, our torque wrench, and our 3-inch extension that this is, center to center. And once we've done our calculations for it, it shows us to the actual torque to set the torque wrench at would be about 14.4 pounds. That's going to give us 18 pounds at the top if we want to go direct on that. But you basically take the torque that you want, multiply that by the length of your wrench, divide that by your length of your wrench plus the extension, which would be 15 in this cases, and that'll give you it. So we're looking at about 14.5 is where we're set. So now that we've done those calculations, we know it's safe to go ahead. We're putting the rocker boxes on. You also want to just torque them down evenly all the way around. Not just get down to one and tighten that down and then tighten the next one. They're aluminum, and the gaskets are just such that they need to be torqued evenly all the way around. So you can work them down pretty even till you start to get snug. One other point we want to make while we're going along is to be careful when you put your rocker box gaskets in. There's slight little variations in them, such as this round piece here. But another piece that could be overlooked is this little bump in it right here. You see how it bumps out. You could easily put it on the wrong way and have that bump out the back side, but you would quickly notice that along this side here would be a bunch of aluminum exposed. But the gasket would go on, but it, you know, because it would fit the cutout and stuff up here, and you go, oh, I got that right, fire it in there. So you have to make sure the flat end goes out there. And once you put it on your rocker box and you think about those couple things, it becomes very obvious to see that if it's wrong, it's wrong. So take your time when putting them on. Each thing you do, take your time. We've got our screws ready to go, so I want to just shoot some oil in. Here's my last chance to put any kind of lube on anything, and I don't know exactly how long it will be before we fire this up. Skinny end in. Make sure we're in our gasket hole. Tall ones on the outside. Those ones are ready to torque. We're going to go along and get the rest of the rear ones ready, and we'll go on from there. Now we're going to take the torque wrench and set it to our settings. I'm probably going to set it a little under first time around, and then I'll set it up to the 14 and go around it. The reason for using their handy dandy little extension here is that a lot of places are hard to get into. Here, you can see we can't get the Allen wrench in. So our little tool just allows you to go in there like that. That's underneath the wiring there, and it's not hitting the frame. This little one as well. This little one in the front here as well you can't get at. With the tool, gives you lots of room in there. So it's a handy little rig. So sometimes it's worth it to take the time and just stop and make yourself a little tool like that. When you're working on it, yes, you need it to get in there, and you can probably figure out some other way. There are short Allens like that, but if you want to make sure to get them torqued down to what the specs say they should be, then you need to make a tool. If you take the time and make this tool, you'll always have it. You'll always have it. And should you come across that anywhere else that's taken that size Allen that you've got to get in and you've got no room to get in there, this will give you reach to get in and get in that Allen and get a good bite down into it. So for the time it takes to make it, over the period of your lifetime, you'll find different uses for it once you have it. Tip for today.